Hey guys, it's Ghost Host, back again with a new Marvel Legends review, and this review is for the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Retro Wave, Electro. And I'm going to start this video as I'm going to start most of my Marvel Legends reviews from now on. Holy crap, what a figure. That's going to be my catchphrase until I'm old enough to where I don't get marked for kids every time I make a video. So yeah, before I get started with the rest of the video, this video is for adult collectors, 13 plus. Thank you very much. Let's get started. Alright, so Electro was the last figure in the wave that I pre-ordered. I had to wait 2 months to get him. But hey, he's here now. I'm going to stop complaining about how long it took for me to actually get him and just bask in the gloriousness of this figure. So, Hasbro released an Electro, maybe 2 years ago. I think it was the Space Venom Build-A-Figure wave. It was based off of his modern design, but they used the Pizza Spidey body mold. And honestly, that's not a good fit. That's not a good fit for Electro. He should be buffer than that. This figure is wonderful. It isn't based off of the animated series design. Thank God for that. And it's more of just a classic design. It really reminds me of the old 60s Spider-Man comics, classic comics. And I'm really happy that Hasbro finally made him. If you've watched some of my other reviews, usually I'll have like some really old Spider-Man figures that cost a lot of money, like Green Goblin. He's worth like $50-$60. Pizza Spider-Man, about the same price range. But this Electro was not one of the figures that I could pick up back when it was still cheap. Because I never found them in stores. So with most of my videos, I'm able to actually find the figures when they come out for cheap and then end up comparing them to the new figures, but I couldn't actually find Electro, so this is the only Electro I have. I also do not have the Toy Biz Electro. The good one and the bad one, or I guess you could say the bad one and the bad one if you hate Toy Biz. Because really, I used to stand by Toy Biz 100%. I'd always say that they were the better company, made better figures. But as Hasbro has slowly replaced each Toy Biz figure, like from Spider-Man Classics and Marvel Legends, I like Marvel Legends from Hasbro more and more, and I fade out from Toy Biz more and more. So, yeah. For accessories, the Electro comes with no extra heads, unlike literally every other figure in the wave. No extra heads, which kind of peeves me. But he does come with extra hands, but so does literally every other figure. If they don't come with hands, and they come with accessories. This figure just comes with hands, no heads. So, not a lot of accessories. I would do a comparison with the movie Electro, but, I threw that figure in my yard a few years ago. I really didn't like it. I didn't like his portrayal in the movie. He's not a black guy. He's white, clearly. So I didn't like Amazing Spider-Man 2. I did like the costume for Spider-Man, and I really liked the figure for Spider-Man from that movie, but I didn't like the movie overall. So yeah, I threw out the Electro from that figure like a year after I got it. Let's see, for a little bit of history on Electro, aka Starhead, Stupid Mask Man, I don't know, you can call him that if you want. His alter ego is Max Dillon. He was an electrician who, while working on a power line, was struck by lightning. So it was a double whammy of electricity. And when he awoke in the hospital, he had gained superhuman abilities and he was now a human superconductor, and that he could take in a lot of energy and send it back out through shocks, lightning bolts, or just anything of that sort, and he can even generate his own energy. So he's super strong. He was even approached by the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants in the early comics, and he declined. Also, he might be an Inhuman, so this character has a lot of ties with the rest of the Marvel universe, more so than some of Spider-Man's other villains. He's one of Spider-Man's oldest villains, I think being around the 16th or 17th villain, maybe even older than that. I've only read the first few issues of the original Spider-Man comics. But I do know that he was one of the founding members of the Sinister Six, along with Vulture, Dr. Octopus, and Kraven the Hunter, as well as Mysterio and Sandman, which are two figures I don't have. But, yeah, he's also a returning member in the second incarnation, where Kraven was killed and was replaced by the Hobgoblin. So he's been in the Sinister Six for a long time, and he's even been making more and more appearances in modern comics as the years goes on. So, yeah, that's enough of history and all that. Let's get to the actual figure. He shares the Spider UK body mold, and he also shares the body with Prowler, and that's my final peeve with this figure. Well, actually, not final, but one of the final peeves, is that an electrician turned supervillain has the same body as Prowler, a martial artist and trained fighter, which is a little bit of a peeve, but I think the body works well for both characters. When they're alone, side by side, not so much. He stands at a good height. Let's get him next to Spider-Man. So they stand at a good height next to each other, with Max Dillon being a little bit taller than Spidey. So yeah. He has a great paint job. I had to look closely to find anything wrong, although the lightning bolts on his arms and his mask do get bent really easily, so I've had to take a blow dryer to that more than once. Paint's nice. I didn't find any, blotches or anything, or scrapes. Well, besides here. I don't think the camera can even pick it up, but it's there. And then the final peeve is, of course, how the plastic bends. But, I mean, that's it. The sculpt. I didn't talk about the sculpt on any of the other figures in the wave, because they're all figures that I've seen before. But this one, I just really like. You can see they even did, the creases in the costume. Right here on the back, on the butt. On the chest is where they did it a lot, all the wrinkles of the costume. With most other figures, it's just them wearing spandex, it looks like. With this figure, you can actually see the wrinkles and folds in the costume, especially around the boot, which I really appreciate. And the paint is really good. I kind of don't like how low the boots are. Usually the boots go up to here, but hey, it's still nice. For articulation, you can look an amazing amount up, just really good. His mask does not hinder it, so he can look down a lot. His arm can go a good amount up, good amount down, swivel the bicep. Double jointed elbows that get some pretty good range. Swivel at the hand. Fist can go back and forth or up and down. Ab crunch, which goes a good amount forward and a good amount back. Swivel at the waist. his leg can kick forward, and it can kick back, swivel at the top of the leg, double jointed knees. I would say cut at the top of the boot, but it's not really the top of his boot, but I'm just gonna keep it like that. Cut at the bicep. Or not bicep, but yeah, the leg. Alright. Leg can kick up, go down, and of course, an ankle pivot. Ankle pivots are really nice on modern leggings. Also, one thing I failed to say is the wrinkles in, I guess, the outer underwear. I don't know. It's a old design for the character, so they always had these back then. Yeah, there's even wrinkles and folds there as well. So the figure is really amazingly sculpted, and I really appreciate all the effort that Hasbro went through to give us this Electro right here. It's wonderful. 3 gripes, which is less than most other gripes I have. Now, before I end the video, this is actually the longest review of the series so far. I want to stand him next to other Sinister Six members, with that being Vulture, Dr. Octopus, and I do not have the 2-pack Kraven, but I do have the Rhino Wave Kraven. And for those of you who don't know, I also have the Rhino figure, which I actually might be reviewing as a throwback, because that figure is 5 years old now, so I might be reviewing it this year. But yeah, that's so far what I have. Also, I do have a photo on my Facebook I took with the boys. If you haven't seen that meme, it's just Electro, Vulture, Green Goblin, and Rhino. Alright, so that's the review, and see you guys next time.